So tell us real quick the names of these. These are the more common ones. Hello everybody, I am sitting here in front of my Kent mango tree, and there's a bunch of mangoes that are starting to grow in this tree. And this was one of the first trees I planted when I got this property. And I've always loved Kent mangoes ever since I first tasted them. And Kent and Kit were two of the first mangoes that I planted. But now there's a whole bunch of new mangoes that are out that a lot of people haven't heard of yet. And a lot of people that are into mangoes have heard of all the new mango flavors and varieties that are out. But Kent has always been a wonderful tree. However, there's a problem. There's something called bacterial black spot, which affects some mango trees these days, and the Kent tree is one of them. Now, all these new mango varieties that are out, people are starting to decide if they will be affected or not. Some of them haven't been, but may. Some of them are very disease resistant and been strong disease resistant trees. Kent has always been a wonderful mango, but lately in South Florida, it has this disease where the mango either splits on the tree or doesn't ripen properly, and it gets this black spot on it. So a lot of people are top working their trees that have bacterial black spot into something else. And there's so many different varieties out there today. Well, I want to show you a clip today of a video I did a couple of years ago at a local farm here in West Palm Beach that has tons. They have, I think, over 100 varieties of different types of mangoes. And when I was first looking at, getting new mangoes and tasting new mangoes and realizing there were so many different mangoes out there, I met Alex here at this farm, and he did a good explaining of what many of the common mangoes, at least back then, tasted like. And I'm going to show you that in this video clip. And it's great to know, to learn. Some people say you shouldn't plant a tree until you taste the mango first. Other people say, well, you could plant it and grow it, and if you don't like it, you could always top work it. Well, regardless, I have many mango trees in the ground right now. Some I've tasted, some I didn't. Many of the mangoes I've tasted, as you'll see here in the video, I've tasted, but I don't remember what they taste like because they were quite a while ago. And then there's a whole bunch of new mangoes out now that a lot of people haven't really tasted. For me, I went to get a whole bunch of mangoes last year, but they weren't picked ripe, and they just didn't taste as well as I know they should have. I had a couple that were ripe, and they were out of this world. So check out this video with different mango varieties, and hopefully this will help you make your decision if you're planting a mango tree or if you're just deciding which mangoes you're going to like. Alex has a world of knowledge when it comes to mangoes, and his website has a great list, and it's the place I go to on his website. I'll put the link below the video of all the different mangoes, or majority of the ones that are known here in South Florida at least, and some around the world, and what they taste like, the history of them, and also their history with disease resistance, so whether it's sooty mold or bacterial black mango spot or some other type of disease. He has a lot of that information on his website from personal experience, so check that out. Here's the video. Health show, and I am in mango heaven right now. I mean, I found an amazing mango farm. They have like 100 different varieties of mangoes, and they're very close to where I live. So I'm totally excited, and I'm going to be visiting here a lot. We're going to get the grower on. He's going to talk a little about the land, the property, and the mangoes, and they have other fruits here as well. So you'll be seeing me a lot of me here, but let's check out the place now. Hello everybody, I just found this little mango acreage right near my house. They have 7 acres, and they're growing a whole bunch of trees over there, but they have tons of trees here. And mango season is upon us now. So 7 acres of mango trees in this old area. So these trees are pretty old. You hear the airplane in the background. It's not far from the West Palm Beach airport. And these are some big mango trees. Wow. There's the mangoes right on the tree there. There's a bunch of mangoes on the floor. Looks like they're getting ready to plant some more stuff. 7 acres of pretty much big mango trees. Crazy big. Right. Literally like less than 3 miles from my house. Alright, so we're on this mango farm here, and here's the grower. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex, I never realized you're so close to where I live. This is amazing. How long has the place been here?
This property was purchased by the Sturrock family in 1919, and it's been owned by them ever since. And I do all the horticultural care and harvesting out here. And we're collecting a lot of different varieties of mangoes. Mangoes have been grown on this property since 1920s, I would say. And we've collected at this point about 180 different kinds of mangoes, which is one of the largest privately held mango collections in the United States, and we're very proud of that.
Wow, is it exclusively mangoes here on this property?
No, there's avocados, there were longan trees, we've planted lychee, there's a couple existing sapodilla trees that produce pretty well, so we grow other kinds of fruit as well. So.
And what's the most popular mango you sell? What type?
That would be the Edward. We have 60 large producing Edward trees. Edward is one of the best of the Florida mangoes, considered one of the best tasting by many people that have had it. And, it's very, very popular. In the past, the trees haven't produced very well, but they're producing much better lately, which we're very pleased about. So, but we have a lot of new varieties coming out too that are also really good.
Do you know why they started producing all of a sudden? I mean, did you do something different?
Yes, we put them on a better micronutrient program. We've got a couple of really good organic products that have really helped boost the yield, we think, and so we're hoping that that's going to continue in the future, but we have to kind of wait and see. So,
and what's the oldest tree on the property?
Oldest tree on the property is an old Mulgoba mango tree, which was planted, I believe, in the 20s on this property, but it was already big when it was transplanted, so we don't know exactly how old the tree is, but very old.
Well, and for those people that are in South Florida, in the West Palm Beach area, and want to come and visit, what's your contact information?
Okay, our phone number is 561-358-8566. We can also be reached by email at tropicalacresfarms@gmail.com. And we have a company Facebook page as well. It's facebook.com/tropicalacresfarms. And so we can be reached by any of those methods. We're open from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to noon on Saturdays. And we also sell at the Palm Beach Gardens Green Market on Sundays.
Wonderful. Now I see a whole bunch of old big mango trees there, but on this side it looks like you're planting some new trees.
Yeah.
What is this new property you got? Like all of a sudden you decided to plant, or what's the story?
There was a lot of just kind of garbage trees growing over there, and we decided to clear that about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And that was where we started to plant the new trees. But the new trees are being spaced much closer together. They're only about 16 feet apart between each tree and 20 feet between the rows. So much more higher density, but they'll be kept smaller. So they're not going to be growing as big as these huge trees are. So.
Sure. Wow, that's just great. So there you go. And the new stuff you're planting is mostly mango, or just a variety of stuff?
Mostly mango, but we've also planted over 40 different kinds of avocado, and we're also planting some amesa pote and some lychee and some jaboticaba. So we have a few other things, but it's mostly mango. Mango's the most popular thing we sell.
We're back at the local mango farm that I did a video on a couple of days ago, and they have a lot more in season now. We're going to see some common varieties, but we're all going to see some uncommon varieties to the world, but not too uncommon here to Florida. Some I've tasted, some I haven't. We're going to get Alex back on the show today, and he's going to just describe the different flavors of some of these mangoes. We'll be coming out here all summer and checking out the different mangoes. There's so many different varieties as he's going to tell you. So, you know, some of you had emailed me and said you were jealous. Well, come down to Florida. It's not that far, and you can check them out. And if you're in Florida, you definitely got to check them out. So here's Alex, and he's going to explain some of these common mangoes that I'm about to buy. Let's go look at what's the first one we were just looking at? The Fairchild one, you said?
Oh, the Fairchild, yeah.
All right, that's a Fairchild mango. These are some more varieties of mangoes. You have 180 here, right?
Yeah, a little over 180 now.
All right, what does the Fairchild taste like?
Fairchild's a real rich, sweet mango, fiberless, has a little bit of a citrus element when it's not completely ripe. It'll turn yellow, and you can eat it at that stage, but actually it's better when it starts to turn kind of a bronze color.
Wow.
And when it's like that, it's one of the best mangoes you'll eat. But unfortunately, a lot of people just cut it when it's yellow, and it's okay, it's good, but it's much better when it turns more of a bronze color. And they're not very big mangoes. I mean, this is about as big as they get, maybe a little bigger than that. But They do produce pretty well, and they're pretty disease-resistant trees.
Is that a
too.
Florida mango?
Fairchild's actually originally from the Panama Canal Zone.
Okay, yeah, put it in my pile.
Okay.
I see you got a coconut cream mango in your other hands.
Yeah. This mango was bred by Gary Zill, nurseryman in South Florida, and it's a cross between the Edward and the Gary mango. It's a seedling of the Edward, and it does have a coconut flavor to it.
All right, put it in my pile.
Okay.
I got some of these different mangoes that I don't think I've tried before, so you don't have to give me the full detail, but just tell me real quick. Let's run through the names and just tell me what they taste like for the people that are watching if they want to come out here and try something and you're not around.
So Mekong is another one that's unique to this property. It's a cross between Edward and Philippine. And it's got a very interesting flavor. It's almost like a little bit of a Southeast Asian mango flavor, but with a resinous spice component. So a lot of customers from the West Indies appreciate this mango because it's got that spicy flavor that they're accustomed to from mangoes down there in the Western.
Now, when you say they're across, did the growers purposely grow them together, or is that how it works?
It was a project by David Sturrock, and he. I believe he tied branches together so that the insects would cross-pollinate between.
So with all the different varieties of mangoes, you could have endless different varieties of people knowing how to crisscross them.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it depends on just what their cross was, and
okay.
I mean, the possibilities are endless.
So what else? How many mango varieties are known to man? Like not the wild ones, just the ones that are named.
Probably. I mean, there's probably thousands with names, at least at some level. I mean, in terms of what's well-known, probably you're looking at somewhere between 700 and 1,000 that are like well-known and well-cataloged. It could be more than that, but at least internationally speaking. Within Florida, there's probably been over 600 varieties introduced at this point, maybe somewhere between 600 and 1,000, but a lot of those are contained in the collections of the USDA and Fairchild and the University of Florida. And then, you know, taking it down a little further, there's maybe a couple dozen in Florida that are common in the sense that you can at least find them in multiple places. And then the number that are really common are even less than that. So
sure. All right, let's go through the pile. These are the uncommon mangoes that I don't know if I've had these. So what else do we got?
Okay, so this one we've named the Ruth. And we're not exactly sure what the cross is. We think it's an Edward seedling, or it might have Edward in the parentage. But this is another mango that has kind of a resinous, spicy component to it. And it also has to get very ripe before it tastes good. If it's cut a little early, it can be kind of mealy and just not that sweet. But when it gets really extra ripe, it's a pretty nice mango. And this is another one that's appreciated by people from the West Indies. And Indian customers appreciate it too. So another one we have is the Simmons. Now Simmons is a cross between Hayden and Carabao, or the Philippine mango. And it was named after Edward Simmons, which is the same person that the Edward mango was named after. Edward was also supposed to be a Hayden Carabao cross, which makes these mangoes siblings, basically. And Simmons is a pretty nice mango. It's kind of got more of a tart flavor than Edward. It's fiberless. It has a unique trait in that it's polyembryonic, so it will produce multiple sprouts if you plant the seed. It's a heavier producer than Edward, and it's also very disease resistant. Usually fruit is very clean and doesn't really get much anthracnose. So we like this mango, and it really should have more plantings, but it just never became very well known like the Edward did. So,
what's that?
Oh, this is a Floragon, and Floragon was a mango selected in the 30s or 40s in Fort Lauderdale, and it's a cross between, at a minimum, it's a seedling of Saigon, and it might be a cross between Hayden and Saigon. Saigon is a mango that was introduced from Southeast Asia in the early 20th century, and it's a fiberless mango, extremely heavy producer, very disease resistant. I grow this mango out in Loxahatchee where it's hard to get mangoes to produce well. This mango will spit out fruit in high humid, high disease conditions without any spraying, without any real care. So it's a very, very reliable producing mango and a nice tasting mango. It's on the milder side, but when the weather is dry and it's not raining too much, this mango has a pretty nice flavor, and a lot of people like it. So um, not a really pretty mango, it just turns yellow, but
Yeah.
we like it.
All right. Tell us about this one.
Okay, so Springfells. Springfells is a mango that was selected in West Palm Beach, actually, and the original tree is still there, I think, over on Cordova Road. But it's a Hayden seedling of some sort, and it was originally called the Springfells Superior because back then they thought that this mango was tops, you know, back in the 20s. So, very beautiful mango. They actually get pretty big. I don't really have any really big examples of it, but they can get over 3 pounds. So really big mango, really pretty mango, and it has a flavor a lot likened to pineapple. I mean, that's the most common flavor profile that this mango gets compared to. So real pineapple flavor. It has a little bit of fiber, but not really bad. Like it's not terrible. And produces really well in West Palm Beach. Really clean fruit. Once you go out west, this mango doesn't do so well. So, but I
Great.
like it, and a lot of people do too. So
Great. So tell us real quick the names of these. These are the more common ones. We have Duncan, you said, right?
yeah, a lot of Edward and Duncan in the bins
Edward and
right now.
Duncan. Okay. So these are early season mangoes?
Yeah, Edward is. Duncan, to a degree, is kind of early season, but Edward certainly. I mean, we started getting Edward fruit at the end of March this year, and
Okay.
so that's most of what's in these bins right now.
Edwards and Duncan, okay.
Yeah. So we have 60 Edward trees, and they're kind of at the peak of their season right now. So we have some other varieties like the Young. This is a cross between the Edward and the Kent. Produces pretty well. It's a milder mango, not as sweet as the Edward. But most of the bins have a lot of Edward in them.
Great. For the people in the West Palm Beach area or anyone watching in the world that wants to come here, give us your address and your contact information again.
Our address is 1010 Camellia Road, West Palm Beach, Florida, zip code 33405. And our phone number is 561-358-8566. And we can reach by email at tropicalacresfarms@gmail.com. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/tropicalacresfarms.
All right, everybody, that was the video at Alex's farm, and I'm really excited for this mango season to come. I'm going to get back there and taste some of his newer varieties and also get some of his older varieties. I'm so excited about that. We're only about a month or two away from these mangoes being ripe, and hopefully the mango bacterial black spot is not going to affect this tree. Last year, it was about 50-50. 50% of the fruit was okay and 50% wasn't. So I'm kind of hopeful this year. But, you know, if worst comes to worst case scenario, I could top work this tree to something else. And I will if I have to. But I got so many other varieties, so I think I'll be okay. All right, everybody. So thanks for checking that out. Make sure if you're in the West Palm Beach area, you get to Alex's farm this coming mango season. It's a wonderful place. And put your comments and questions below. And also remember, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. I have so many more great videos that are coming just to help us all learn and grow. So keep growing.